about so much fuel there, 120 litres there and 95 in the tank. Yeah, we're going to do about 271 kilometres, so hopefully this is enough fuel. Got about 8 k's to go. I just wanted to stop the boat and just show you guys how beautiful it is out here right now. You don't get conditions like this, and when you do, you get straight on the water, because that is absolutely awesome. And have a look how blue it is. Oh man, this is going to be so good out here. What you might do is, rather than go to the island first, you might go and around the reef and find a place to dive and get some fish, because we'll need some lunch at some point. And the only thing I brought is a couple of bananas and some apples, nothing else. The rest I have to catch and cook. That's Lady Musgrave Island over there. And you can see there's a few boats inside the reef. And there's a pontoon by the looks of it as well. All right, I want to go and find somewhere where I can spearfish and catch my dinner. Oh, big splash over there. I don't know what it was. Maybe we just jump in here by the looks of it. Saw this guy behaving really kind of oddly, looking inside a rock. Didn't know what he was doing, but as soon as I shot him, this guy came out, wanted to have a crack at him. But yeah, I quickly grabbed him and brought him up. Definitely a good octopus there. And looking at his tentacles, this guy's been in a few fights. You can see that tentacle there is missing. How good is that? Octopus for lunch or dinner tomorrow. I'm going to jump in for one more dive, because literally that was only a couple of minutes and I was straight onto that coral trout and then that octopus. I haven't had a chance to have a good look around here, so I'm going to go back in, give it probably 30 minutes tops, and we'll get back in the boat. But yeah, there's lots of little bommies out there, and even anchoring the boat, you're going to have a bit of swing and you might hit the bottom of the boat when it's on low tide, so I don't want to do that. Yeah, all right, we'll leave going to the island till tomorrow morning. I think probably better. Check out how beautiful that water looks. Look at that, turquoise blue, and so peaceful. Yeah, pretty cool and beautiful spot here. Just like paradise, I reckon. If you're a regular to my channel, then you'll know that whenever I come out to sea, I always forget something, and it's usually in my hat or my glasses. But this time, I've forgotten something else that's really important. I was just making my bed, and I've realized I don't have any pillows or a blanket, so that's going to be really interesting. Oh, I'm a silly bugger. Blanket, I don't really need, it's hot anyway. And for a pillow, yeah, I'll just use a towel or something. No big drama. At least this time, I got my hat and my glasses. You guys notice something in here that's a little different than it was before? No? Well, I took the seats out. The seats were just taking up too much room. When I'm driving somewhere, I'm always standing up anyway, so complete waste of space. Yeah, I can definitely swing a cat in here now. Heaps more room. And I absolutely love it. Guys, the sun's going down, and so this one's going to be really easy. A couple of those small fillets. All I'm going to do is just chop them up, and we're going to make it sashimi. I absolutely love coral trout sashimi. One of my favorites, especially when it's fresh from the ocean. Nothing better, honestly. I could eat this all day. If you guys haven't seen me do this before, it's really simple. Just soy sauce all over the coral trout, just like that. Not too much, but enough. And then I just put some wasabi. That is so good. I highly recommend this, guys, that you come out, you catch a fish, coral trout, because it doesn't compare to anything else that you can buy in the shops. Only a small number of people in the world can experience this, and I'm fortunate that I'm one of them. But man, that is so good. Oh. Alright, I'm going to finish this off, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Sunrises and sunsets, perfect start of every morning and a perfect end to every day. More people should enjoy this. Gives me a whole nother outlook on life, which I have a great deal of appreciation for. Seeing the sunrise on the water, yeah, that's the best. I'd like to tell you that I had an awesome sleep last night, but I didn't. I can't lie. The first few hours was so bad. The wind was up and the boat was rocking, and you could hear the water slapping on the bow. And as I was going to sleep, I had thoughts of the anchor rope giving way and the boat hitting the reef. And as soon as I heard a big thud, I would get up, and I did that about 20 times before I fell asleep. So yeah, it wasn't the best sleep, but I'm feeling better now. And who wouldn't? Look at that sunrise. This is Lady Musgrave Island behind me, but I can't find a safe way on there to get this boat towards the beach. It looks like it's just full of coral and maybe a high tide thing, or you come around from the other side. Yeah, there is camping here, and there are some people camped on the beach, but I don't know where their boats are. Their boats are definitely not along the beach here, and they're not along the other side, so I dare say they might have even been dropped off. Alright, so we're going to go somewhere else today. We're going to go head north. We've got plenty of fish and still that octopus. So what we might do is go and check out some of these other islands, some of these green zones. We're not actually allowed on the islands because they're marked as scientific research. I don't know what that means. I think they may be counting the turtle eggs or counting the bird eggs. But yeah, not allowed on there, which is a shame. But we'll drive past and have a look and maybe even go for a dive and check out what kind of reef there is, because the reef on Lady Musgrave is pretty disappointing. Probably one of the worst I've seen, but hopefully this island up here has a better reef, because it hasn't had any people on it. So let's check it out. These are the Fairfax Islands. As I said before, you can't go on there, and it's also a green zone. So I'm going to go maybe pull up on a reef somewhere and then go for a little leisure dive. I've got to be careful. I've got to put the fishing rods away, because even with the fishing rods out, you can still get a fine. So I don't want a fine. It would be definitely interesting to see what this reef is like compared to Lady Musgrave. So this should really be in better condition, but I don't think so. I think because of where we are on the southern end of the Great Barrier Reef, the weather is a lot more ferocious down here with the southerlies, and so the reefs can be a lot more damaged. That is a fish that's having some problems swimming. What's going on, fishy? I just caught this guy by hand, and there's something wrong with him that he can't swim. Looks a bit swollen. Looks a bit swollen there. So I reckon he may have eaten some plastic or something, but this is a green zone. I've got to chuck him back in. Oh no. What is wrong with you, mate? Oh well, I hope you get better soon. There you go, mate. Come on, swim. Swim. Come on, mates. You can do it. No. No good. Poor guy must have had something wrong with his swim bladder and couldn't dive at all. Like, he was still alive, but he just couldn't dive down. Every time I grabbed him, he would flick his tail and wouldn't go back down. Crazy. This is one of my first dives at a green zone. I've never dove a green zone before, so I'm super excited to go down there and have a look. Fishing rods are down, I've got my dive flag up, and we are ready to hit the water. Not a bad little dive at all. The marine life here is a lot better than it is over there. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to go move on to our next destination, which is north. This is the Hoskins Islands. There's two of them, and they are no access, scientific research only apparently. Turtles and birds, that sort of stuff. Out in the middle of the ocean, series of islands all the way up and down the Great Barrier Reef. Perfect. These ones are being saved away from humans because humans destroy absolutely everything. So they're not going to destroy these ones. There's another reef close by where we can do some spearfishing. It's called Reef. So let's go and do that, and then we'll head to Fitzroy Reef, and I'm pretty sure we can moor in that reef overnight. So that's going to be our safe anchorage for later. All right, I've seen enough here. Let's go. This is 30 meters of water, and it's telling me it's 0.2. Now it's reading 47, where it should be. I think we're going to dive here. I've just anchored the boat just outside the breakers, and that's going to be our safest place to dive because it's not too deep and it's not too close to the waves there. I'm just going to sit here and wait and see whether the anchor drags, because that's really important. If I'm in the water and the anchor drags, this boat will end up on the reef and absolute disaster. So it pays to be very careful because there are no second chances out here whatsoever. I don't know what the ground looks like, but this is definitely the safest place to anchor. So let's get in. I saw him sitting in the rocks by himself, and yeah, went down and took a shot. It was a good shot right between the gills and got him on board. He's a good, solid trout, that one. Yeah. Dolphins, look, dolphins. It's a special treat. You don't see many dolphins out here. Yeah, wow. I'm taking advantage of the wind behind us to get to our next destination, which is, the wind is coming from the south and we're heading north, so it's absolutely perfect. One of my fears is running out of fuel. At this rate, we're not using much fuel, so it's going to be smooth sailing. Alright, there's only a couple of boats here, one power boat and one sailing boat right over there. we're just gonna go find a mooring, and there's plenty of them because this is cyclone season, it's not sailing season. There should be plenty of moorings. I can see a few ahead. All right, let's go grab one and then work out what we're doing next. Anchor is set. I've chosen a nice little cove here between the reefs, and that's going to keep us nice and safe. There are some moorings out there, but the moorings are out in the open, and I don't want that smashing, especially at night time. I know the wind's going to be up for the rest of this afternoon, and then again tomorrow morning, and then ease off tomorrow afternoon. So yeah, we're going to be stuck here for at least till tomorrow night, and then we'll head off towards Northwest Island in a couple of days. But yeah, pretty happy with this. This isn't a green zone, so we can dive here and catch some fish as well. I know I've got a couple of fish already, but I just love the water so much. Oh, I should have been born a fish or a dolphin, I reckon. I just love the water. Can you blame me? Look at it. It's absolutely beautiful here. All right, I think it's time to put some fuel in because we're a little bit out of fuel. What have we got left? Let's have a look. Oh, there's only probably 30 litres left. That's not so bad. We've done a fair few kilometres already. How many kilometres have we done? We've done 136 kilometres so far, and we've still got 2 points of a tank left. That's 2 jerry cans. It's taken us pretty close to the full mark. I'm not going to put another one in just yet because it'll overfill it. But that's not bad going. Maybe 50 litres for 136 kilometres. Yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty good. All right, time for a rest, and then I'll think about doing something later. But yeah, I'm pretty buggered. Oh, big day. All right, catch up soon. Well, that wind has definitely picked up. It's going to be up for the rest of the evening and then through to tomorrow morning and tomorrow evening. There's not a great deal I can do about it. Just got to let it pass and then we can continue our journey. Yeah, I really hope it doesn't get any worse than this. All the other boats that were here are all gone now, so I'm definitely here on my own. We'll be right. I'm sure of it. Alright guys, I really hope you've been enjoying this video, and if you have, now's a good time to give it a like, and if you're not already a subscriber, give me a subscribe as well, and don't forget to hit that bell notification button to be notified of my latest videos. go, octopus. Yeah, really nice with those spices. Oh, so flavoursome. Oh, so good. Coral trout, octopus, fresh from the ocean. Unbelievable taste and unbelievable freshness right here on the Great Barrier Reef, eating the freshest food I can possible. Alright guys, I'm going to tuck into this. I'll catch you guys a little bit later on. Alright guys, it's official. I ate way too much food, but that octopus was so delicious. It absorbed all those flavors more than the coral trout, which I found surprising. But yeah, really nice dinner. And now I'm going to go to bed. I'll see you guys in the morning. Hopefully tonight I get a better sleep. Maybe I don't. You can hear it slapping again. The weather is up, but yeah, I'm safe. I'll be fine. See you guys in the morning. All right, good night. Good morning guys, this is day 3 and the weather is not looking the best. Forecast did say that it would be easing off later today, but I don't know. I need to get a weather update because this looks like it could be kind of stick around for a couple more days, and that's not what I planned for actually. Last night's sleep was horrible as well. The tide came up, had a high tide at 11 o'clock, which means you don't get a lot of protection from the reef. You only get really good protection at a low tide when the waves can't come over the reef. So yeah, the boat was banging and slapping and all the noise was going on, and it just plays tricks on your mind, make you think that something's going to go wrong with the boat when really there's nothing wrong at all. It's just all those noises kind of freaked me out a little bit. So yeah, didn't get a really good sleep, but nonetheless I got some sleep and that's enough. The final island I'm going to go to is Northwest Island, and that's only 58 kilometers from here. It's not that far. I could get there within an hour and a half quite easily. I really want to check out all the reefs and islands here, which is part of my bigger plan of exploring the whole Great Barrier Reef from the start right up to the end of Cape York. I want to do that this year. So yeah, it would be a bummer if I had to miss out on some of those places, but yeah, a weather update would give me more info, and that way I can stay safe. All right, let me do that this morning and we'll touch back soon. Salty Gypsy to VMR or Coast Guard after a radio check and a weather update, please. Salty Gypsy to VMR or Coast Guard seeking a radio check, please. No, these radios are pretty much useless outside 20 kilometers, especially with these aerials. Absolutely useless. If there's another vessel close by, they might hear me, but as far as the radio stations, the Coast Guard and VMR, out this far, absolutely no chance. When I was planning this journey, I made a passage plan. I'll show it to you. So part of that passage plan is on this map. It just shows you the direction I'm going to travel, plus some of the distances in those directions. That's our start point, Agnes Waters. And then we went to Lady Musgrave, which is over here. And then we went up through these islands, and we're now on Fitzroy Reef. And we've still got a little bit to go. We need to go all the way up here and then to northwest. So we'll spend a couple of days here, and then when the wind changes to north, we'll head south and go back to Agnes Waters. But check out these places. This is One Tree Island. It's a no-go zone. Scientific research apparently. And there's another one up here which is called Wreck Reef, and I believe there's actually a wreck there, and that's a preservation zone. Not allowed on that as well. So our track, we avoid those, and then we go to this one. Maybe I'll go to this one, I'm not sure yet, but maybe we'll go directly to northwest. So yeah, that's it. That's the map of my passage plan. Wow, that was some really big swell back there, man. I was kind of almost regretting my decision to come out. Yeah, they were big sets. Anyway, it's settled down a little bit. It's still rough, but a lot more manageable. Whew, man. All right, we're almost at the checkpoint. I'm gonna make a new navigation point to the next place, and then we'll head there. We'll be there probably another 20 minutes. Woo-hoo! My chart plotter is on the blink. Doesn't give me any distances, any headings, nothing. Crazy. Whoa guys, that was super sketchy. Phew. I was kind of regretting going to sea, but we did it. Phew. Oh, no matter now, we've made it to Heron Island behind me. We're on a public mooring as well. That's nice and safe. I think we're gonna stay here for a couple of hours, if not tonight. I don't think we can get on this island. I think it's a resort. And I was going to go in the channel there, but there's people snorkeling and stuff, so maybe not now. We'll see how we go later. All right, I might have a quick snack for breakfast, a banana or an apple, and then work out what we're going to do. But yeah, the weather is not looking the best. Hopefully it goes away and we can get on our journey. Yeah. All right, guys, I quickly have to get off that mooring because I let someone on earlier during the day because there was only one public mooring, and I daisy chained behind him. But right now what happened is the tide changed, and now we have tide against wind, and both boats started to touch, which isn't good at all. With tide against wind here at the moment, we've got the wind going north and the tide going south, but the boat's not actually moving. We're stuck in one position, which is really a funny phenomena. All right, I've decided we're gonna head north and might even make it all the way to Northwest Island. We'll see how we go. All right, buckle in, buccaneers. Let's get on the high seas. We are way ahead of schedule, and I was supposed to stay on the other mooring at least till tonight or tomorrow morning, but I had a problem with the boats smashing together because of the tide, so I decided to come further north. Now this is Wilson Island behind me, and I don't know what's going on here, but it looks like there's a resort on there. All right, we'll see if we can get onto the island and have a look anyway, but this is going to be our mooring spot for tonight. The island's going to give us some shelter. Hopefully it won't be rocking around like the other two places, and I might be able to get some sleep tonight, which would be absolutely perfect. All right, just landed. Going to check this place out. Wow, looks so beautiful. It's like a little paradise hidden away from everyone. Wilson Island, Capricorn and Case National Park. Nicely manicured gardens. It looks like there's some glamping here. Wow. All right. Lots of little bungalows everywhere. Oh, here we go. There's a main hut up here. Let's check that out. All right, well, that was a little embarrassing. This is a private resort. I had no idea. I just thought it was a national park that you could camp on. Look at these check out boats. Wow. Lots and lots of birds up there. What? Wow, nature right at its best. Yeah, really nice. There was a bar in there, restaurant, a couple of really nice staff. Yeah, it's a bit hot at the moment, this time of the year. You probably want to come here in the winter season. Be a lot better. Yeah, this is super hot. Whoo! All right, let's get back in the water and back on the boat. All right, guys, it's time for a snack, and you guessed it, we're having coral trout sashimi. Now, this coral trout is from that strawberry coral trout. I don't think it's going to taste like strawberries, but it's going to taste really nice. Now, this is the top loin, the shoulder. Beautiful. Look how beautiful it is. First of all, I'm going to cut it down the middle like that. Put that one away for later. And we're just going to cut it just like that. You can do it as thinly or as coarsely as you like. This isn't really a restaurant, so I'm not going to worry about making it really thin. But yeah, you get the idea. I think this knife's going a bit blunt. Alright, there we have it, guys. Look at that. Yep. And today, we might do something a little different. We might put some lime on it. There we go. Squeeze the lime all over it. And now some wasabi. Just there. Like that. There we go. Let's give that a crack. Take a bit of this, dip it in the sauce, a little bit of wasabi. Mmm. Oh. Oh. Woohoo! Wow. Holy moly. I just found my new favorite dish. I never tried it with lime before, but that's pretty good. Oh, man. Highly recommended. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, so nice. Mmm. Oh, guys, that is absolutely incredible. Wow. Woo! And for course number 2, we're going to do some coral trout in panko fried in coconut oil. Definitely one of my favorites. Yeah. The trick is to lightly dust the coral trout in the panko just before the frying. That, I find, works best. So here we go. Just sprinkle that on there like that. It's getting everywhere because of the wind. Mix them up a little bit. Get that dust all over the coral trout. And then just drop them in one by one. Let them brown one side, flip them on the other side, and that should be done. Oh. I don't know why I didn't put lime on that in the first start. That's actually really good. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Alright guys, that is it for today. The sun's going down. and I'm not far from going to sleep. All right, guys, I'll see you in the morning. Good night. Good morning, guys, and what a wonderful morning. The conditions are getting better and I couldn't be happier. This morning we're going to dive the front of Broomfield Reef. I want to try and find a good spot and also try and catch a fish other than coral trout. It's all I seem to be catching lately. All right, let's go find a spot to park and we'll get in the water shortly. Awesome spot here, trout absolutely everywhere. Ended up getting 3, could have got a lot more, but they were just outsmarted me. There was a big footballer and also a large blue spot. He was too smart for me as well. But yeah, really good spot here. Definitely gonna mark it and come back to it. But yeah, 3 trout, gotta be happy with that, huh? What a great morning so far. Good weather, caught plenty of fish. We are sorted. The only thing we need is more ice, and there's none of that out here. Maybe a couple more days out of that cold water, and that will do us, I think. Right, before we go to Northwest Island, I'm going to stop here. This is a marker that I made a couple of years ago. This was an awesome fishing spot, and I want to dive in again because I saw some really great fish here, and I also saw an 8-meter shark here, and which freaked me out at first, but I went home and researched it, and I found out it was a basking shark, which are completely harmless. These sharks swim around with their mouth wide open trying to catch plankton. What a big, beautiful shark it is. 8 meters long, man. Yeah, crazy stuff out here. In my opinion, this whole area is so full of marine life. It's absolutely amazing here down here. You've got lots of islands where there's turtles and birds nesting, and the marine life here is probably the best I've ever seen in the whole entire Great Barrier Reef. I haven't seen all of it yet, and that's my plan, but yeah, this place so far, it trumps all of them. All right, I'm gonna rehydrate, have a rest, because I didn't get much sleep last night either, and actually my breath holds this morning was pretty rubbish, so I think I need some rest. I'm going to do that, and when I wake up I'm going to jump in for a dive down here and see what's down here. I'm going back to Agnes Waters tomorrow. That'll be day 5, and yeah, it'd be nice to take back some fish to put into the fridge and freezer. What a great trip so far. I mean, we've still got plenty of fuel left, and the wind has been in our favor the whole time. I think tomorrow as well, it's going to be a northeasterly, and so a northeasterly will push us back down to Agnes Waters perfectly. All right, I'm going to have a rest, and I'll see you guys shortly. Oh guys, that was absolutely heartbreaking. This reef has completely been, I don't know what the word I want to describe it, or destroyed or decimated. It used to be a really vibrant, colourful, full of life reef, but now it's not good at all. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was a big storm event, or maybe it was a coral bleaching of some sort, but yeah, most of those corals are dead, and it just seems to be that there's a lot of sand in there, a lot of silt in there. So yeah, not sure what happened, but that's devastating that, you know, you dive the Barrier Reef one day and it's absolutely pristine, and then you dive it sometime later and it's absolutely decimated. It's looking like more and more of it's going to be destroyed, and our children's children maybe will never get the opportunity to ever see it. So that's why it's really important for me now to document as much as this as I can, moving up the coast all the way to Cape York and videoing and putting it on YouTube so you guys can see it. Yeah, but I was recommending people come here to Northwest just to check it out, but I wouldn't recommend it now. It's not worth it whatsoever. I don't know what to say. In all fairness, I haven't dove this whole area. I've just dove this one section, and looking at this section, it's all going to be like that, or at least on this face anyway. On the northern face, it's going to be like that. I don't know what the other side's like. Yeah, hopefully it comes back. Hopefully it gets better. Mother Nature does his job and it becomes better. But yeah, that's I'm so saddened by that. birds everywhere. Yeah, I reckon that's the cart stuff. Whoa. Holy moly. Yeah, this place stinks like birds. Absolutely stinks. Area for fuel storage. Wow. Whew. Pretty smelly. Toilets. The birds crap everywhere. Yeah, it looks like a pretty good place to camp, but you'd have to share it with the birds. Big bloody tarp, mate. Yeah, but it's pretty cool though, I guess. Oh yeah, this place gets really shallow, and so if I'm not out of here now, I'll get stuck here till high tide tomorrow, and then I won't be able to get down to Agnes Waters. So that ruins my plans completely. So yeah, back to the boat, and then head south tomorrow. If you're coming here, look out for this pole here. This is your indicator of how to get in the channel. The channel's only quite small. That's it. We are here right now, and I think we've got time to go to our next place right here, and then we can leave from there back to Agnes Waters. And that way we might get some diving in around here. We're not allowed to go on the island. It's called Masthead Island. Not allowed on there, but we can do some spearfishing in that yellow zone. Not on the green zone, but definitely in that yellow zone. And then tomorrow morning we wake up and head all the way back to Agnes Waters. I think that's a plan. We have arrived, and it couldn't have come at a better moment because I'm running out of fuel in the main tank and I've got to fill her up. So perfect timing. All right, let's go park up somewhere and put some fuel in this thing. So I just put 3 drums, which is 60 litres, into the tank, and now I'm showing full on the fuel gauge, and that tells me that the fuel gauge is not correct and that there is in fact 35 plus litres in the fuel tank when that fuel gauge shows empty. And I guess they do that to idiot proof it, because a lot of people drive on empty and run out of fuel, and out here in the ocean running out of fuel is a big deal because there's a service station anywhere. Can you see a service station? No. The only way to get fuel is off another vessel or to call marine rescue. They used to charge you for that, but they don't anymore. So if you guys run out of fuel, get on the radio, if your radio works, and get onto marine rescue and they'll get you some fuel. But yeah, that's good to know that I've still got 35 plus litres in the fuel tank when my gauge shows empty. The good news is we have plenty of fuel to get back. We've got a full tank. It's only 50 k's to get back. The bad thing is we've run out of ice. Now the esky is still cold. It'll be cold for probably one more day. So hopefully if I catch another fish tomorrow, we can put it in there and it'll be fine till we get back. Normally the ice I get lasts up to 7 days. Now this ice obviously hasn't done that, or maybe because the ice box has been in the sun the whole time. And this is pretty much why I'm cutting the trip short, because I've got some fish I don't want it to spoil. It would be complete waste. Mother Nature would definitely not like that, and you would definitely get some bad karma. Yeah, so unfortunately only 5 days, not 7 days, but I think I've seen pretty much all I wanted to see. And now I've done the southern end of the Great Barrier Reef. Yeah, I don't know too many people that can claim that, and I'm very thankful that I'm one of those people that can. Yeah. All right, guys, today's lunch or dinner is going to be coral trout that we just freshly caught. I'm going to do it as ceviche, and there's a lot of trout there. Look at that. Oh, that's a lot of trout. Do you know what? I'm going to eat it because I'm just having like one meal a day, and it might as well be a bloody good one. So all I'm going to do here is chop these guys up, chop some tomatoes up, and then chop the lime up, put it all into a dish, and let it kind of just marinate there for a few minutes. Look at the colors though. Wow, looks tropical. I'll put the tomatoes in after the limes have done their business, but essentially just squeeze these limes and put them in there, and the limes will do the trick and also give it that beautiful lime flavor. Like, it's already starting to cook it already, and I haven't even done just half a lime. Oh, that is so good. All right, let me get the rest of these limes in, and then we'll give it 5 or 10 minutes to cook, and then we'll put the tomatoes in, and I'll check in then. See how it's changed from translucent to white? That means it's cooked. I added some spices as well. I couldn't find any salt. I must have left it in the van. Doesn't matter. Now I'll add the tomato, and I can get stuck straight into eating it. There we go, just a bit rough like that. Looks absolutely delicious. But how does it taste? I'll tell you right now. Oh, so good. Especially better with those spices. Oh man, that is really good. Wow. Oh, must be the luckiest man alive, I reckon, because that is delicious. Okay, let me finish this off and I'll check back with you guys later. Wow, so good. Wow, that's a pretty spectacular sunrise with the grey clouds behind it. Gives it that nice pink hue, which is, yeah, really nice. I had a better sleep. The boat was still rocking around, but I think I've just become that used to it now that I'm ignoring all those sounds and just getting a better sleep. Yeah. Would be better if I did have a pillow and a blanket. But yeah, I'll know for next time not to forget those things, I guess. Look at that sunrise, guys. How beautiful.